Hello guys, it's Danny the Medic here to you with my video, the perfect Rolex Submariner Homage. So what is a Homage watch? It is a watch that kind of looks like the watch that is more expensive. Basically, people make a lot of homages of the Rolex Submariner. We have over here this one made out of transparent plastic. We have a Casio that is smaller, but it came with a metal bracelet. I switched it out. Over here we got another Casio over here, and this over here is a Parnis. We also have the somewhere in the Invicta, Pro Diver, and then you got like Steinhardt and whatever. Anyway, whole bunch of companies makes a whole bunch of watches that looks like the Rolex Submariner design, which is over here. Now, why do they make copies of the Rolex Submariner design? I believe it is because it is a very useful and practical watch. Now, I go through everyday life, and this rotating bezel is terrific for timing things like, hey, when I'm going to pick up my food from the store, it'll be ready in 15 minutes, right? So you turn the thing, and then it's 15 minutes. Or you go put your laundry into the washer, and then when you started that. So many things, parking meters. It is such a wonderfully practical thing to have, this rotating bezel, right? And of course, legibility. It is so good. Black dial, nice big markers. It's very plain. It's terrific. The stainless steel construction is really good because then you don't have to worry about getting your leather wet. So the Rolex Submariner to me is like a pair of jeans. Everybody have been making jeans forever and ever, with the one original creator still making jeans today. I think it's Levi Strauss, I believe, or whatever company from back then. They still make it. But of course there's an issue here. What they want for a well, first of all, you can't even buy a brand new Rolex Submariner. I think I called a whole bunch of stores, and they're always sold out. I just don't think they make enough of them. And but basically you can buy homages for dirt cheap. So if you're looking for a real Rolex Submariner, I mean real as an original made by Rolex, which does have its benefits, which I will show you. I don't know how, but you're gonna have to find one somewhere. It does have its benefits. It's nicely made. It's not perfect. I've seen Rolexes with many mistakes on it, but if I were to go to a store and buy a brand new Rolex, I'm gonna bring my loupe with me, like this one over here, the loupe, and I will inspect the shit out of it to make sure it is perfect, because no one's gonna I ain't no trillionaire, billionaire that says, you know what, 10 grand ain't nothing to me. If it turns out to be awful, I'll just toss it in the trash, Some people are like that. But for me, I'm not that rich. So over here we have what I consider the best Rolex Submariner Homage they have today. You can get this on AliExpress right now, and it's like 75 to 85 bucks or something like that. It's dirt cheap. Okay, I'll go over some specs. Right, it's full stainless steel, ceramic bezel, it's waterproof, sapphire crystal, 3-hand, and a date. What more do you want? Screw down crown, screw down case back, oyster style bracelet, right, and Rolex style clasp with a easy link style extension, right? Whereas the Submariner design has some kind of glide lock system, which I don't find really useful. It's like, am I a diver? No. And if I am a diver, I'm not going to be wearing something like this to dive. It's stupid. I'll be wearing like a dive computer nowadays. Maybe back 60 years ago, people would go diving or something like this. But who dives? This I consider this an everyday outdoor watch. So I'll tell you something about the differences in design here. Basically, when you buy the Pagani, it'll come with a shiny center link. All you have to do is just use the Scotch Brite green pad, take off the bracelet and just, wipe it with the pad. It'll turn it brushed, no problem, okay? So over here, a couple of differences. The center link over here sticks out, well, the center link of the lug sticks out further than the Rolex's design over here, which then it makes the watch a little bit wider than the Rolex design, because I don't know why. I don't have a big wrist. I wish they would have gone and made it the same. If you notice here, the crown is a little little bigger, but that's fine, whatever, okay? If you notice over here, this one has no anti-reflective coating on the Cyclops, right? And once I get it into position, centered with the lens, you can see that the Cyclops is actually placed a little too far to the right. So what I can do is to remove the Cyclops and glue on one with an anti-reflective coating, which I have purchased, and I'll be looking forward to doing that, right? Whereas if you see Rolex's design, it's perfect, right? And they have some anti-reflective, which makes it like a much better. So over here we got a rotating bezel. Obviously, for 85 bucks or whatnot, you're not gonna get the best rotating bezel action. So let's say, excuse me, sir, when's my Chinese food gonna be ready? 40 minutes. Okay, and then you'll be back at 40 minutes, right, when the time comes around. So let's see this here. Oh, when's my Chinese food gonna be ready? Oh, it'll be ready in 40 minutes. See, nice and so smooth. Beautiful, no back plate, so smooth. Now let's talk about the clasp. Well, from far away it looks the same, right? It basically functions the same, right? Flip the sucker open. Right, more or less, more or less whatever. Oh, this is a little wet, I think, because I washed the watch. Right, clasp, more or less whatever, But over here, we have the, they call this the glide lock, where you pull it, and then it's adjusts like that. So you can make it longer, you can make it shorter. I mean, like, I don't need it to have that big of a spread. Like, they used to have a diver's extension that folds out. I guess that replaces it. But over here, for the Pagani, they have their version of the Easy Link system, I believe they call it, that comes on the Datejust or whatever. So it is a certain thing here, a certain length, and then now it extends a little bit, right? You fold it back, you fold it back, and it's shorter again. I prefer this over that, because this, like, I'm not a diver, and the only time I need this, right, it's like when it is in the short position, I measure it and I set it to fit my normal wrist. Then I go outside, maybe I do a little activity, it's a hot day, it's humid, whatever. Then my wrist gets a little bigger and it becomes uncomfortably tight. I open it up, and it is comfortable for a while. Then I calm down throughout the day, and I go back home, and then I relax, and then my wrist shrinks, and then I just set it back to the way it was. Right? In the winter, basically that never happens, but in the summer, it gets really hot and sweaty. So then it helps to have a little bit of extension. Now, I don't need that much adjustability at all. Okay, don't need it. So guys, now let's talk about the movement. Basically, the movement that comes in the Pagani is Miyota, which is a company based in Japan. I think they're owned by Citizen, which is a watch brand. So made in Japan means excellent quality. You don't need anything else, you know, to tell your time, to wear this on a daily basis. You don't need it, you know. And like, why? Why a Homage watch? I like it. There are other watches that have a similar design, but you know, do I need to get one like so close to it? Do I? No, but this is the cheapest one that has these nice features and specs. Sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel, full stainless steel, water resistant, screw down crown and case back and everything. And like, you know, you like look at it from far away. It looks great. You know, it's black, you know, with the black bezel, the stainless steel, the oyster looking bracelet. You know, it looks kind of like the same. You know, you got a clasp that features, you know, some sort of micro adjustability for in the hot days. It's an excellent watch. Sapphire crystal and all that. Oh, and the links are screws too. It's wonderful. There's just really no reason, like, if you appreciate the Rolex Submariner design, you know, and whether you don't want to spend the money and you know, like, buy an expensive version, you can buy the cheap version, and that's great, you know. And sometimes you don't want to wear a watch that says Rolex on the face, you know. It draws unnecessary attention from like muggers and thieves and whatever. You know, you sometimes you don't want to bring anything expensive with you, but you still like the Rolex design because it's so practical. Pagani design, the PD1661. You know, and if you buy it on Veterans Day from AliExpress, it's actually even a few bucks off. I'll include the link below, and you can click on it and order one. Now, I will warn you, watches from AliExpress is a iffy. You know, you might end up having to work on it a little bit to make it good. You know, like it's got sharp edges, unfinished parts. I think the movement in the inside is always good, but just the finish is, you know, pretty bad sometimes. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Your Pagani design, perfect Homage. I mean, it'll be perfect once I get the Cyclops on here that is anti-reflective and I position it properly. But this is actually, I mean, I got this just the other day, you know. I mean, it's not too bad. You know, if I'm not in this room with multiple lights, the reflections aren't so bad, and it's not off by that much. I may, you know, leave it alone. I do not know. Because eventually, you know, all mechanical watches die. Eventually. Right? And then, you know, you could just, I don't know, buy another one or something. Maybe like in 10 years, 20 years time, like Pagani design will make even better ones if they're still around. I don't know. But anyway, thank you for watching my video. And you have yourself a nice day. Bye now.